Hello everyone. It's been a little while since I've done any video regarding to the topic of E90 M3 or E92 M3 or any M3 basically from E46. I thought I would do a very quick video because I think internet is also lack of a very simple, straightforward video on how to look after M3 when you keep one, like a real quick key points that people need to know. Behind me, you can see there are many components, consists of plastic, bronze, and all the metals. My name is Tim, and I own a manufacturing business on tubular motors. So I have people that's in a good engineering background. So I'll keep this video short. It's about 1 minute now. Okay, there are a few things that you need to make sure that you don't do when you own an M3. First, oil level. You must keep your oil level at highest point. Okay, there is an electronic oil meter on your M3. Okay, there is a top section and a bottom section. Always keep the oil at the fullest top line. Okay, when you go over the top line, it's overfill. So if you thrash your M3 a lot, as soon as the oil goes below the top line, right, you should feeling the oil right away. Now the whole bar is 1 liter of oil. So you can fill in the oil according to your visual inspection of how much oil has dropped. So halfway it's 500 mil. The bottom halfway is another 500 mil. So if it's down by 2 millimeters on the oil meter cluster, then you just fill 100 mil. Now you should always keep the oil meter height as your primary screen, because when you thrash the car, sometimes the oil will go lower as the oil gets older or age, or you haven't changed the oil sort of as often as you should. But people just don't care about oil height these days. M3 was built 10 years ago. The way to look after the engine is quite similar to Alfa Romeo, quite similar to Subaru WRX, quite similar to Porsche 996 of that era, or 997. If oil height or the oil total capacity is not a concern, M3 will never have the oil meter, right? So that's point 1. Point 2 is that you should only rev the car above 3,000 when the oil meter have calculated its height. First of all, you want to make sure there's enough oil volume inside of the engine, so that the elasticity of 10W60, like the cheese on a pizza, can stretch itself and provide an excellent barrier for the entire engine. Okay, if you thrash it and that oil is kind of halfway, in other words, it's like 500 millimeters less than what the whole engine needs, you're going to have a bit of a metal to metal contact issue. So unfortunately, you have to warm up the M3. My other video teaches you how to do it. You don't have to keep it idle, okay? You can drive off, but just don't thrash it. In the 90s, all the 500 horsepower GTRs of R32 or R33, people used to drive the way I drove in my other video, okay? If you are a youngster in your 20s, you need to learn from oldies like us, because those engines were built before you even had your driver's license, okay? Point number 3. You must use 10W60 period. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're in a cooler climate. Okay, the 60 is not the issue. A lot of people always say, the 60 is too thick, the 60 is too thick. It's not the goddamn 60 weight. The flowing speed of the oil is the first number, it's the 10. Okay, 1040 will not flow faster than 1060 during the cold start. Okay, they couldn't make a 5W60 because to make a 5 flowing speed in a cold temperature, they can't get the 60 thickness, if that makes sense to you in English. So 1060 is perfect for M3. All right? The cold flow is beautiful. The 10 still flows well, even if you live in a place that's 3 degrees or minus 2 degrees. Go to Google, check the viscosity chart of 10, and you'll be surprised how cold the 10 will run. Okay? And finally, all the M3 owners are greedy people. They want to find the best engine oil for the engine because they are paranoid of oil quality. They go to Johnny Lau for Johnny Lau brand oil. They go to Bruce Lee for Bruce Lee brand oil. They add all sorts of additives into it. The engine gets so fucking confused all the time of what ingredients you try to make, you try to put it in there. It's like having 7 cheese on your pizza. Have Swiss cheese, have American cheese, have Chinese cheese. It won't work. Keep one formula you like and use it all the time. The formula will work the best. Your roll bearing will last the longest it should. If you do that, you'll be okay. All right? So remember the 3 points. And this is Tim from Taiwan. I will do my Canadian video next. These are the few very, very important. Number 1, oil must be at the fullest level, the top section, not overfill, but at the highest level of the top part. You're gonna have a little bit gap, but fill it to the highest. Number 2, stick with 1060. Number 3, always warm it up. And number 4, don't mix oil. Just find an oil brand you're happy 1060 and use it forever. Okay? Stop, get so paranoid. Your M3 engine is no different to any other race performance engine. But unfortunately, it was a cheaper car. Okay? It wasn't like a 911 turbo of the 996 that force-fed the oil during the cold start. Alright? You should have oil at the fullest level if you track it. If any engine that's 335 or whatever, any performance engine, you should have the oil level at the fullest level, regardless if you got comfort engine. It's basic mechanic. Nobody talk about it on the internet. They just try to sell you expensive oil, try to rip you off because they know you are paranoid. This is Tim from Taiwan. Canadian videos coming soon. Adios.